Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to our Sunday speaking series powered by Shubh Language Academy in partnership with the French House Jaipur. And today's topic, as you can see on the screen, it is about the English idioms. There is an English idiom on the screen that reads, the early bird catches the worm. So we understand that the person who arrives early or starts something first has an advantage. And that is how we have to move ahead in our life. So, with that note, I would like to wish all of you a very happy and prosperous new year because we are meeting for the first time in this year for our English series. So, everyone, a very happy and prosperous 2025 for all of you. With that, we'll begin our session. To give a little idea about today's topic, idioms play a crucial role in mastering the English language, particularly for learners aiming to achieve fluency. These colorful expressions add depth, personality, and cultural nuances to communication, making the language more engaging and relatable. Learning idioms helps language learners understand the nuances of English and connect better with the native speakers. Idioms often carry meanings that go beyond the literal interpretation of words. For example, when we talk about phrases like break the ice or under the weather, they convey specific situations or emotions in a compact, vivid way. By learning such expressions, language learners can express complex ideas effortlessly and sound more natural in conversations. Moreover, idioms reflect cultural contexts and historical influences, providing insights into the tradition and thought processes of native speakers. This cultural understanding enhances a learner's ability to interact authentically in social or professional settings. However, mastering idioms requires practice, as the meanings are often not intuitive. Including idioms in daily vocabulary building exercises, watching movies, or engaging in conversations with native speakers can significantly boost comprehension and usage. In essence, idioms are vital tools for English learners, enabling them to communicate effectively, enrich their language skills, and gain a deeper appreciation of the language's cultural tapestry. So that was a little idea about why is it important to have English idioms in our spoken English or written English, whatever form of English you are trying to use for yourself. So I would like to move ahead by showing some of the English idioms to you, and then we'll try to understand as to what their meaning is and how can we use them in sentences or in our daily conversation. If my screen is visible to you, we'll move ahead with our first slide. So there is the first one that reads, a blessing in disguise. Any guesses, any ideas? Because I would like to listen from your side as well, because maybe you are already using these expressions, these idioms in English already. Shubhashish, would like to say something on this?
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. First of all, it's I'm really excited to have back this session once again. It was a long gap. Yeah, blessing is this guy in disguise means we do something which actually is like we don't mean to do but some positive thing actually happens,
Mm-hmm.
some
Right.
action without any intention, but something happens. For example, if I say um, let's say the British rule
Mm-hmm.
was a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because we often criticize about the British rule. They exploited us,
Mm-hmm.
and but see, there are two sides of the coin.
Right.
So if we see from the positive side, a lot of like why you're so developed.
Mm-hmm.
That was because
Now,
of the British rule. So I
could
would
you give?
say that the
Yeah.
British rule was a blessing in disguise for our nation.
Right. So we understand what you're trying to say. So it does make sense. Something that seems to be not acceptable, a problem at the very outset, but in the later run, it seems to be useful and productive and advantageous. So that is what you rightly say, a blessing in disguise. Something good that seems bad at first is the meaning. And of course, an example that we can quote here is losing my job was a blessing in disguise. It pushed me to start my own business. So something that seems to be problematic, not so good at the first sight, but becomes useful or helpful in the later course.
The same with me, but it's not losing my job, it's resigning from my job is blessing in disguise.
Okay.
I
So
purposely had resigned and it's
yeah,
a blessing in disguise.
yeah, but the idea is Shubhashish and everyone else that at the first point it seems to be bad, right? That's how we see it, and then it turns out to be something good. So that is a blessing in disguise. All right, thank you. We'll move ahead, and the others also raising their hands. So I'll ask you on and off. So a dime a dozen. Any guess for this English idiom, what does that mean? A dime a dozen. All right. So a dime a dozen is something that is very common and easy to find, and something which doesn't have a lot of value. So that's is called as a dime a dozen. So cheap souvenirs are a dime a dozen in tourist spots. So something that is easily available and something that doesn't cost a lot and can be easily found. So if you see the image, it shows that the currency dime with which we could buy things for a quantity which is a dozen. That shows that this thing is not too much of a value and is easily available. So that is how we call dime a dozen. So an example, I'll reiterate. Cheap souvenirs are a dime a dozen in tourist spots. Moving ahead, beat around the bush. Anyone beat around the bush? What does that mean? Any guesses? I can see Firuze. Yeah, Firuze. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. I think beating around the bush means, if there is nub of a problem or the answer to a question, you never give this directly, but you go all around it and don't focus on what is the real thing. You just talk all around it, spend
Right.
time, waste time, but you
Uh-huh.
don't focus on the main issue.
Right. So exactly what you have said is correct. So we'll give the exact meaning in English. It would be avoiding the main topic or issue. Exactly. So you go round and round around something, but you are not coming on to the main topic or the main issue. So that's exactly correct. So you would say an example could be stop beating around the bush and tell me the truth. So don't waste time and just come on to the main topic. If someone has something else to add on, please feel free to raise your hands and tell me. Yeah, Shubhashish, like to say something on this?
Yeah, in order to get good marks, the student was beating around the bush in the exam. Not coming to the point to the answer, but like writing long answers.
Right, right.
I think we can
Absolutely.
utilize in this context as well.
Exactly, absolutely. And when someone is not very direct to you to say something, this person is beating around the bush, then we ask this person to, spill the beans or tell the thing out, or maybe to cut the chase and say something directly. So beating around the bush is in that
It
context.
just reminds
Absolutely.
me just one short experience when my brother was in class 7 or 8 in the parent teachers meeting. My elder brother Devashish, like he was like there once. So the physics teacher says he never answers to the point. He always write long answer and tells, "Sir, मैंने लिख दिया आप इसमें सब answer ढूंढ लीजिए." So
All
it
right.
was just a way of writing answers, beating around the bush.
Yeah, it depends. As at times we are required to elaborate answers, and that can be a literary approach to write answers in a detailed way. But of course, when we are in this kind of context, when we talk about to beat around the bush, we are definitely asking the other person to come to the main point and stop, running around the irrelevant details.
So can I say
Okay. Yes, please. Who's that?
Vijay? Yeah, my name is Vijay.
Yeah, Vijay, please. Good morning. Tell us.
Good morning. I also heard that beating around bush means discussing something which doesn't lead anywhere, which is in futile discussion, something or irrelevant discussion. Is it true?
So if you look at the idiom in itself, beat around the bush. So we are beating around the bush. We are just trying to do certain things which are around the bush. We have to come onto the bush to make it more sensible and what the central point is. So discussing or not talking about the main topic is, of course, what you say is to talk irrelevant, to talk useless can make sense in this context as well.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you. Okay, moving ahead. I'll show the next. Yeah, bite the bullet. What could that mean? Any idea? Bite the bullet. Yeah,
Crack,
Firuze.
but
You'd
If
have to
someone
raise
else
your
is
hand.
talking.
Yeah, Firuze, over to you.
Okay, so basically, bite the bullet means when you reach a point or a situation where you have to take a decision, and it may not work in your favor, or it may be dangerous, or this thing. You take that decision, you take it bravely, you take a leap of faith and bite the bullet.
Absolutely, exactly. To do something that is unpleasant, which is not comfortable for you, but you end up doing it. So, for example, I hate going to the dentist, but I'll just bite the bullet and do it. Exactly. So at times, life is such that it offers us these occasions, these situations wherein we have to bite the bullet, and we have to do certain things which are not good, not pleasant, and but they are unavoidable. You have to do it. So exactly correct. If there's any confusion, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask or dash in your opinion as well. All right, moving ahead. Next one, a very common one is break the ice. Anyone?
Start the make the beginning, make a start.
Yes. Exactly, that's correct. So to start to initiate, generally we have seen when we are not knowing the people around us in our entourage, we tend to break the ice, and there are people who help us to do so. So that is there for us. So to initiate a conversation and make people feel more comfortable, I told a funny joke to break the ice of the party. This kind of things we have to initiate, and generally we have seen there are people who help us do these kind of things. There are moderators, there are people who would try to put people at ease, so that's how they would help people to get in touch with each other. Sushmita, you'd like to say something?
Sir, I can't understand what is the meaning of initiate.
Initiate is to begin, to start a conversation and make people feel more comfortable. For example, in your surroundings, you have some people with whom you're not talking because you don't know them, but you break the ice and you start to talk to them. You might ask them, you start to talk to them about the weather, you start to talk to them about what is happening in their life, and you first ask their name, of course. That's how you break the ice and you initiate a conversation.
So this
Thank
one
you,
is Shreyoshi joining from our aunt's thing. The class
Right.
post student Shreyoshi?
There's someone who wants to join, Subhashish, is that so?
No. She's not Shushmita. Just now who answered.
Okay,
Shreyoshi.
all right.
Shushmita is her aunt's name.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So moving ahead, we'll take up another one, which is burn the midnight oil.
Work
Any
hard.
guess?
Work hard.
Yeah, you'll have to raise your hand, everyone, and then we'll do accordingly. And if you could just, yeah, so I'll request you all to please raise your hand so that we do it in a more organized manner. Yeah, Shampa, over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Basically,
morning.
burn the midnight oil is to work late in the night or it's working more. I would rather say we can use like this. So like she was ratoing or she was burning the midnight oil to give her performance boost or something to do
Yes.
to hard work. Actually, I mean to say
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. You're right. To work late in the night, of course, to accomplish your tasks, to finish your projects, your work. And that's true. So for example, the way you rightly said, she burned the midnight oil to finish her project on time. So this is something that one does. And I'm sure that everyone of us, we burn the midnight oil. Of course, in the olden times, we just had midnight oil, which was to be put as a resource. But today, because of electricity and other resources, we can go ahead with them as well. But of course, it is an old concept which says that you work late into the night, and that makes your dreams come true or your projects are finished on time.
But I would prefer to sleep at night.
Yeah, this is for that's personal
Actually,
choice.
I'm an
but of course-
early bird.
Yeah, of course. You have all the possibilities to work in a specific way. If someone is an early bird, then would wake
I
early up
found
and
like some people, like the younger generations, their cortisol levels are higher. So that's the natural way that they are awakened. They're awake, and so they do a lot of work at midnight. What I have
Yes.
seen actually.
Right.
So
So,
I have a
everyone.
sentence.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a
You-
few
Jaivardhan sir burns the midnight oil, to create interesting sessions.
Okay, thank you for that compliment, Shubhashish. But I think we all are burning the midnight oil to work hard towards our life. So are you, and so is everyone else in this meeting. I'm sure about it.
Sir, I
Thank
have
you.
a theory, sir.
Yeah, Vijay, that's your name, right, Vijay ji?
Yes, Vijay.
Yeah, please, Vijay, please go on.
Sir, burning midnight oil doesn't necessarily mean somebody working through the night. If somebody is not working throughout the night, only working throughout the day also can mean burning the midnight oil. Is it true?
No, it's not possible because the word in itself has midnight oil. So it is
Okay.
expected that you do something which is done in an odd way, which
Okay,
is not done in a regular way. So someone
like we
who's
said.
working in the daytime, everyone does that. So what
Okay.
extra mile have you walked is shown by the midnight oil.
Like, can't we say that farmers in the field burn midnight oil in order to produce?
No, you would have to use some other expression for that because it doesn't go in lines with the kind of context you're trying to present.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, perfect. Right.
Farmers mostly they do their work at the daytime only,
Right.
not at night.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Perfect. Let's move ahead. Then we have another one, by the book. And any guesses what could that mean, by the book? I could give you an example if you wish to have one. The new employee, the new employee always does everything by the book. The new employee always does everything by the book. Yeah, Jayaditya, we'd like to listen to you.
By the book means following the protocol or going by the rules of the company
Absolutely.
or the organization.
Absolutely, totally, yeah. So following what is written or is put into the rule book, and you do accordingly, that means by the book. Okay, great, perfect. Cry over spilled milk. Any guesses for this one? What could that mean? Raise your hands.
Lamenting.
Right, yeah, that's correct. So we listen to Kumar Anu.
Yeah, to regret after doing something if it is not successful.
Right. Yeah. So of course you're right. So it's any example that you could give, Kumar Anu, to scaffold your answer?
Like I'm preparing hard for my French exam. If I fail in this exam, so that would be like that. It's going to be
Right.
like that.
Yeah. So exactly, to be upset over something which cannot be fixed anymore. Then
Cannot be fixed and cannot be fixed. No, it is. I think it is mostly related to success. I think.
it is rather the contrary, that there is a failure that has come on the way,
Yeah.
and we don't have to spend time over it by lamenting or by crying over spilled milk. We have to move ahead. I mean, that's how life philosophy is. But then the meaning is to be upset over something that has already happened and cannot be
Already.
changed.
Yeah.
So milk which has gone over the floor, we cannot collect it back and
Yes.
cannot put it to use anymore.
Sir, can I use a Hindi version of it? पछता होत के अब चिड़िया जब चुग गई खेत.
Yeah, ab pachta hai
I
hod
think
ke
this
jab
is
chidiya
similar
chug gayi
thing.
khet. Yes, you could say so. I was also thinking about the same in Hindi. I did come up with another expression as well. Yeah, so that does make sense. Ab pachta hai hod ke jab chidiya chug gayi khet. So it is too late now. But what could be done is that we have to understand it. We have to accept it. So everything comes with acceptance. So it's very hard in us, the human beings, to accept what the situation is, and then we try to think a lot about it. We would lament on it. We would cry over it. But this expression says that to be upset over something that has already happened and cannot be changed, but then the push is that we move ahead with whatever the situation is to improve the things, to improve the situations.
Sir, can this idiom be used in the context of natural calamities, like flood has destroyed something, and then you can say, "Don't cry over the spilled milk," and because
Right.
this flood has come and gone and made destructions.
Right. Yeah. But generally, you're right. We can say so. But we have seen something that has happened and cannot be changed. We have the human intervention more into it rather than the natural calamities. Yeah. So we have this little distinction. You're right. When you say, can we use it for natural catastrophes? We could. But then crying over spilled milk can have more of a sense wherein our human intervention was more into it.
All right, sir. All right.
All right, moving ahead, we have another one. Right. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. Yeah, I'll just quickly check with Jayaditya if he wants to say something. Otherwise, we'll move ahead with Firuze. Yeah, Jayaditya, would like to say something?
Means
I cannot hear
coming
you
to
for some reason. Yeah. Yes, please.
maybe it means coming to the central or focal point of the discussion, like not beat around the bush, but just cut to the
Yeah,
chase.
exactly. Yes, you're right. Yeah, Firuze, you'd like to add something more to it?
No, I think he said what I needed, what I wanted to say.
Right, right. Absolutely correct. So that's right. So, cut to the chasers. Let's cut to the chase. We need more funding. Let's cut to the chase. We need to study more. So, no beating around the bush. Let's come to the point directly. We need to do something, or, something has to be done. So, to get to the point, skipping unnecessary details, which is in today's time, it is very important that we all are very focused, and then how we move ahead, it all depends. At times we need more of details, we can move ahead with them as well, but of course, if it is unnecessary, then we have to skip them. All right, next one that you can see on the screen is, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Anyone who'd like to try this one
Don't jump to conclusions.
with an example?
Don't
Yeah,
jump.
you'll have to raise your hand, Vijay. You'll have to raise your hand, right? That way we would be in a better situation to ask everyone. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Shubhashish, any input from your side?
Yeah, what I feel is something related to expectations. Don't expect for a result before doing the work. First, you do the
Exactly. Right. Totally. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Let them hatch. Let's see what is there in store for us. That's correct. I saw Rubina's hand as well. Rubina, would like to say something on it?
Yes, sir. Same, sir. Don't expect things before it's happened or done. Before
Right.
the result
And do you
comes,
think,
don't expect the things.
right, exactly. But do you think, Rubina, in today's time, people are not, they're very restless, they don't have patience, and they
Yeah,
would start
yeah,
counting their
yeah.
chickens even before they hatch?
Yes, sir. They are
You
more
think so?
focusing on the outcome, not the income. Like what I am giving
Right.
input,
The input that they're
that
doing,
will
yeah.
give the output, but we are focusing on the output, that the result will be like this, like this, like this. We are assuming that, but
Right.
we are not thinking about what I am giving input to get that result, that outcome.
Wonderful. I think it really makes sense, because we have to do our best and then forget the rest. Let the Almighty decide what the outcome is going to be. But definitely, if you're really putting your heart, energy, everything into it, then beautiful results await you. So we see that don't assume something will happen before it actually does. So let it happen, let it take its time to happen, and then everything will come out. I know you're excited about the promotion, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. So there's some process that is going to take place for a person about the promotion, but then let's not talk about it. Let's not harp about it. Let's not go gaga about it and talk to everyone about it. Let it happen first, and then let's see how it takes shape for you. All right, great.
So being secretive is more effective.
Totally. But that's true. The way I asked Rubina, in today's time, it's really difficult for people to sort of keep it to themselves and not to express and be a little satisfied with their work and their action, and then let the result come all by itself. So it's difficult in today's time, wherein everyone is into that position of talking about it, and the larger than life kind of an image is being projected. So that's true. But then how do we make a balance between the two? That is very important. All right, quickly we'll move ahead. Next is down to earth. What does that mean, down to earth? We'll find someone, a new person perhaps, but it's everyone is trying to say something or the others. That's great. We'll listen it from Rubina. Rubina, again for you.
Down to earth means who is very simple, very like, which is very ground level, very simply said, very simple behavior. That is down to earth.
Down to earth, and that's a quality of a person. Is that so,
Yeah,
Rubina?
yeah, it's a quality of person, because
Right.
it might be a huge person or
Mhm.
huge quality or
Mhm.
huge well-known person, but her behavior or his behavior is like a very simple, very sensitive, empathic.
Right. Absolutely.
Is down
Absolutely.
to
You're
earth.
right. Totally. So it's a quality, and someone who is practical and humble. So she's very down to earth despite her success. Right. So if there's something else to add, Shampa, Shubhashish, you can say. Otherwise, we can move
Yes, sir.
to.
Sir, today
Yeah.
it's the birthday of a very famous, a great
Yes.
personality who was very
Yes.
down to earth. Now, can you guess who is he?
Yeah.
It is
Can
Swami
people guess who is
Vivekananda.
he? Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Today
Swami
is
Vivekananda.
his birthday,
Yes.
12 January.
Totally.
What I
It's
feel is he was a very down to earth person.
Exactly. I think we have to learn these lessons from people around us who have left an impression for us, for humanity, for everyone, and then that's how we move ahead. So, absolutely, Swami Vivekananda was someone who was down to earth, and his teachings and his all his messages that he has floated across the globe are lessons to be learned. Great. All right, moving ahead, we have another one, which is face the music. What can that mean? If someone were to face the music, what does that person do? Yeah, Vijay, you'd like to say something on that?
Face the brunt.
Okay, all right. Any example you could put along with?
Well, not knowing anything and entering into the conversation or the discussion can the person might have to face the brunt, face the music
Okay.
of others.
Right. So it does make sense. I'd like to listen Aarti as well. Aarti, Aarti, can you hear me?
So this means to face the results. Then
Exactly.
can be
Yeah, right. You're
uh,
right. So what happens is that one has
a
to.
teacher. Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, you're right. So when you have to accept the consequences of one's actions. So if
Exactly.
something is done by me or someone else, this person has to take up and move ahead with the consequences of that action. So he had to face the music after skipping work for a week. So this person did not turn up onto the work. So everything that was missed for a week's time had its own consequences, which were to be faced by this person. So face the music.
Exactly,
All
sir.
right, great. Thank you. Right, moving ahead, we have another one which is hit the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head. Anyone would like to share the meaning of this idiom? Yeah, I'd like to listen from Shampa. Shampa, over to you.
Yeah, it's like to say or do something exactly the right thing or right way.
Mhm.
We can say describing a situation in a perfect manner.
Exactly, you're
Something
right.
like this.
Yeah, totally. Indeed, this is correct. So you hit the nail on the head when you said the problem was lack of communication. Or I could say the same for you, Shampa. You hit the nail on the head when you explain this English idiom, hit the nail on the head.
Thank you.
So you indeed you were exactly you described what this English idiom meant.
So can we
Great.
Yeah, but the
also
problem is that we have not used this idiom for such a long time. So thank you
True.
so much for bringing this again. So
My
I'm
pleasure.
trying, actually right now I'm really hitting my head or banging my head to bring all these things back.
I know. See, as learners, even in our school timings, we have learned all these expressions, these idioms, but we don't use them for whatever reason we have, and we tend to forget them. Or
Yes,
even if we
hardly
recall
use
them,
them.
we don't use them.
Mm,
Sir,
Right.
yeah.
does it mean pinpointing something else? Something pinpointing exactly?
Yeah, pinpointing exactly wherein you describe exactly what is causing a situation or a problem. So
Okay.
pinpointing, you are precising something, and yes, you are focusing onto something. That's correct, Vijay.
Okay.
so
Thank you.
can we
Yeah.
also use criticize the context of criticizing while using this idiom?
So
Like about the government, like I'm hitting the nail, bringing out the lacks or whatever.
totally, Shubhashish. We are not looking at the approach. If it is a compliment or it is a criticism, it's just that describing exactly what is the situation or the problem. Then how
We
someone
can say,
takes it.
Subhash, is that, sorry, so please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. So I was just trying to say we are not bringing any judgment onto it. It's just that whatever is the situation, we talk about it and we put it in the open light.
I would like
Thank
to tell Shubhashis that exactly the way Shubhashis does everything, like hitting it directly, something like this, precise.
And that is why most of the people they hate me a lot.
No,
Trust me.
I do love you a lot. I do not hate you a lot.
And I got
Well,
We
beating
love
also.
you.
Also, I'll just share one. I got beating a lot of times in the public because of this. I speak out such things in the public, which is point blank.
Mhm.
Whenever I hit nail on the, I got beating. Literally, I got beating 4 or 5
I
times in the bus, in the
see.
train, in the crowded area. I got beating.
Okay, that's very sensitive what you are saying, but then please take care of yourself. But that is true at the same time, Shubhashish, when someone takes the courage to, to speak up and to express what one feels about a situation, about a problem, and if that is the reality, it might not please to a lot many people. So that's true. But bravo for your work and take care of yourself when you're taking care of everyone else as well in your surroundings.
Thank you, sir.
All right, moving ahead. We have another one which is in the same boat. Okay, I see more hands onto it. Yeah, Jayaditya, what could that mean in the same boat?
To be in the same situation or stuck in a same situation or going through a same situation.
Absolutely, you're right. So we can put an example. We could say we're all in the same boat when it comes to finishing the project, or we are all in the same boat when it comes to learn foreign languages. Maybe it's a difficult thing. It's a time-consuming thing. It's tedious at times. It's not very pleasant either at times. So we are all in the same situation, which means to be in the same boat. Correct. Okay, moving ahead. It's not rocket science. Yeah, Arti, over to you.
Yeah, it means it's not a very big deal, not very technical thing. It's simple.
Simple. So could we say learning French or moving ahead in French is not rocket science?
Not exactly.
Learning foreign languages
French
is
is a
it's
bit
not.
of rocket science.
Learning a language, not only French but any
Yeah,
language.
yeah, right. So it's not rocket science is something when we would say that it's not very difficult to do.
It's not very difficult.
It's
Yeah.
not difficult to do, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So installing the software isn't rocket science. You can do it easily all by yourself.
Hmm.
Totally.
Rocket science exactly here means something very, very difficult. No?
Yeah, very difficult, very technical.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because we consider rocket science as something that is not everyone's cup of tea, and not
Exactly.
everyone would be able to do it. So we put it at a level which is quite tough. So we would compare everything to rocket science, and if it is not rocket science, then it is doable. It's feasible.
So
Right.
I remember one same similar to this, or like Sonepalo Mar Aboa, something like this.
Right. Yes, exactly. We have these expressions in other languages as well. Quickly jumping on to the next one, which in itself says jump on the bandwagon. What could that mean? Jump on the bandwagon. Yeah, Vijay, over to you.
Changing the side suddenly.
Changing the side suddenly.
Side in the sense.
Aside, okay. I am
Changing the side in the sense changing the jumping into the other group suddenly, like.
okay. All right.
I
We
don't
will
know.
take
I'm
that
not
point.
able to express.
Right. Jayaditya, if you'd like to develop that.
Okay, it's for example, a rumor is going on and you just jump on the bandwagon means you just believe onto something or what other people are doing, you are also doing thing. Am I audible?
Right. Yes. Yes. Firuze?
Hi, sir. Yes, basically, jump
Yeah.
on the bandwagon would mean you are following a trend. You see everyone doing something and you follow the herd.
Right.
That's what.
Absolutely. Yeah. So to join a popular activity or trend, which is happening across and we are part of it, everyone is using that new app. So I decided to jump on the bandwagon too. So exactly what everyone does. Now, the question is it right or wrong? We're not going to look into it. It's a personal choice, but of course, jump on the bandwagon means to join a popular activity or the trend which is happening around. Right?
So we can also use it for politicians
Moving
when
ahead
they
to
change parties.
see in this case, Shubhashish, changing parties is a personal choice, but it is not the trend. I mean, it's not a popular activity. I mean, if it is happening at a level which seems to be a trend, as in it's a popular activity, of course you could use that. But generally, it is a phenomena that is happening across the country, across the city, across the globe, and then you are a part of it, then in that case, like making reels, these days we can talk about it. Making reels is something that is into trend.
Okay.
And then I jumped onto the
So it's basically
bandwagon
trend
when
and the popular activity like is included in that context.
yes.
समय के साथ चलना.
Thank you, sir.
Sorry.
समय के साथ चलना.
हाँ, समय के साथ चलना, but then there are people who might say that जो चल रहा है वो सही नहीं है, people might bring some kind of criticism to it. So yeah, that's correct what you're saying, but then of course it has its own implication as well. So that's true. समय के साथ चलना. What is happening around, you take your momentum in the same lines. Yeah, Aarti, you'd like to say something on that?
Yes, I think it's a little different from Samay Ke Saath Chalna, no? It's more
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Bhedtaal.
yeah, you're right.
Where
समय
you
के साथ
don't
चलना
think
is, yeah, tell
and
me.
you just start following what others are doing, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. So समय के साथ चलना, when Vijay, you say this, we feel that it is something that is important for us to keep going and keep changing. But when we talk about to join a popular activity or trend, we are not very sure of the fact that if it is right or wrong. But we are a part of it. It's rather than bhed chal. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Sorry, sir.
There's an Hindi expression, bhed chal.
No.
No, you haven't heard about it. So it's like, all the sheep are going in a certain direction and we are part of it.
Okay.
We have this same expression in the Bengali also.
Okay.
Subhashish
So,
might know it.
but again, when
tell one.
সুভাষিস গড্ডালিকা প্রবাহে চলাটা ওই যে ওইটা মানে সবার পিছন মানে গড্ডালিকা প্রবাহ তাকে বলা হয় ভেড়ার পিছন পিছন চলা, ভেড়াদের মতন করে চলা.
Yeah, that is what Jaivardhan sir said, bhed chal.
Yeah.
ভেড় কি চাল.
Yeah, but again, when we talk about bhed chal, we are putting a judgment onto it that everyone is doing it, so I'm doing it, and we don't know if it's good or bad. So that can still get in touch with this expression, which is jump on the bandwagon. But when you say, Vijay, समय के साथ चलना, this is something as a positive message we would want to give to everyone, that please move ahead, keep going, and accept the changes in the life and move ahead.
Yeah, got it, sir. Thank you.
This is only with the activity, something very trendy.
Yes.
And then somebody is doing the same thing. That's it. That does not go with this.
Yeah. So yeah, trend would last for not a long time, and then we are a part of it, and then we would leave it perhaps.
Yeah,
All right. Let's move to the next one, which is let the cat out of the bag. What could that mean? To let the cat out of the bag. I'm still missing out onto the name Sushmita, but of course that's Shreya. No, I forgot the name. I missed the name.
Sir,
Yes.
I think that means to say something to like saying the truth.
Okay. Saying the truth. Okay. Saying something that's true. And truth is also correct, but then the truth has to be given a different word. And when you say it in a different way. So we'll see. So it's a good try. Great.
Is it spill the tea?
Sorry,
Is it spill the tea?
to spill the tea or to spill the beans?
Spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Okay. We'll come on to that expression. Yeah, Jayaditya, you'd like to say something onto that? Let the cat out of the bag.
So it maybe is from the story that there is a sack and then everybody's guessing what's inside. So then they are like, let something out of the bag. So it's like, just let the suspense out. Like what is there like inside or hidden. So revealing the truth or revealing the
Yes, you're right. But how do you reveal? You reveal it accidentally. So to accidentally reveal a secret. And that's how you would put this English idiom into place. So she let the cat out of the bag about the surprise party. So they were planning a surprise party, but accidentally she spoke about it. She had no intentions of speaking about it, but
I
then
have a question. So all of these are idioms or some are proverbs also in it?
So we would categorize them in the category of idioms, but of course there could be proverbs as well.
Okay,
But
because some of them I found like,
yeah,
I think some are proverbs also in it.
Right, you're right. So basically the difference between idioms and proverbs, I hope you understand. So we have a mix of it. it was difficult for us to segregate the two, so we put it together. But of course, we would categorize them under the category of English idioms for this session, right?
Idioms are like mostly they have some meaning, some message, or they want to give, and but proverbs are something on based on popular local beliefs
Yes.
or stories. Like
Yeah.
Hindi, we say muhavre, and proverbs is lokoktiyan. So for that,
Lokoktiyan. Yes, you're right.
yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you for that, Jaditya. We'll move ahead with the next one. It is make a long story short. Why would someone say so? Make a long story short, and when it is going to be used? Yes, Aarti, you'd like to say something on that, Aarti, to make a long story
Yeah,
short?
it may be used. A person wants to convey that let's talk in brief.
Mhm. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, to tell something briefly without going into details. So, to make a long story short, you are perhaps narrating your vacations and how you felt over there, and you wanted to say everything, but then there was a paucity of time, or the other person was in a rush, or you felt it wasn't very important for you to tell it in detail. So, you would say, making the long story short, and then you come on to the main point. So, to make a long story short, we missed the flight but got the next one. So, this person is not telling us to what happened on at the airport or what they went through. But then, to make a long story short, we missed the flight but got the next one. So, that's the whole story. Let's move to the next one. Miss the boat. You see, this man has missed the boat. What could that mean? Yeah, Rubina, you'd like to say what does that mean?
Miss the opportunity.
Yes,
Or
to miss the opportunity. Yeah,
So
exactly.
sometimes we hear saying missing the bus also, miss the bus. Is it the
bus?
synonym with this?
We'll have to check, but the standard one is miss the boat. But you could say miss the train. We have seen people use that time, miss the train, miss the bus. So this is indeed an opportunity that came your way, but perhaps you missed it. So the English idiom goes with miss the boat.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, so what Rubina says is correct. To miss an opportunity, I missed the boat on investing in that company when the stocks were low. All right. So we all can see, this is a trending thing. People are investing into stocks and mutual funds, and they're trying to create a corpus of their financial investments as well. So we have to seize those opportunities. All right. Once in a blue moon, what could that mean? Once in a blue moon. I'll request. Yeah, Vijay, over to you. What could that mean?
Very, very rarely, sir.
Absolutely. Any example you can put along so that we understand it in a better way?
Once in a blue moon, I go to a restaurant, a high-class restaurant.
Right. Yeah, perfect. Something that happens very rarely. So I see my cousins once in a blue moon, or the way you rightly mentioned, I go to that XYZ restaurant once in a blue moon. Absolutely correct. All right. Out of the blue, again, the blue color is there for us. Out of the blue, what could that mean? Yeah, Jaditya, out of the blue.
Out of the blue means suddenly, or like a thing which you saw, or something event happened unexpectedly, which you were, yeah.
Yes, you're right. Something happening unexpectedly. He called me out of the blue after several years. Something that happens just like that without any reason, and you were not expecting it.
And
All right,
another
moving.
example I would
Yes.
like to give for
Yes,
that blue moon, the previous one, like
Yes.
witnessing a blue moon is once in a blue moon opportunity or a event, because blue moon means when there are two full moons in 1 month. So that is a blue moon.
Right, you're right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I
So
think
there is a
yes,
logic to that.
There's a logic.
that is the logic.
Absolutely.
Yes,
There's a logic behind it. Totally.
exactly.
So to miss the opportunity because you would not find it every day. So that's true. Right. Moving to the next one. Out of the frying pan into the fire. So any guesses for this kind of an expression? Out of the frying pan into the fire. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. Okay,
Akash
Aarti.
se gira. It's like Akash se gira aur khajur mein latka
Yeah.
type. Out of
I would
one
say the
bad
same.
situation,
Aasmaan se
finding
gira
another.
khajur mein atka.
That's true. So you're out of the frying pan. It was already a serious situation for you, and then
Yes,
into the fire. So bad se badtar ho jana, perhaps. Because
exactly.
Till you were there in the frying pan, you were saving your life, but now you're into the fire. So to go from bad to worse. So changing jobs might seem like a solution, but it's like going out of the frying pan into the fire. All right, moving ahead with the next one. Piece of cake. You'll have to raise your hand. Yeah, Rubina, would you like to try this one? Piece of cake. What would that mean, Rubina?
No, sir, no idea.
Any guess?
Piece of cake means certain things which is got
Okay.
opportunity.
Okay, an opportunity. Okay, but what
Piece
is the
of
nature
cake.
of this
Piece of
opportunity?
cake means which is certain or certain piece of thing. Sir, I don't know.
Okay.
So
Okay.
basic
Okay. Yeah, Sushmita, but of course you have your different name. Yeah, Sushmita, tell us.
piece of cake means something is very easy.
Absolutely, something very easy to do. Totally. So anything that is a piece of cake for you, Sushmita?
Yes. Our maths exam was a piece of cake.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And the exam was a piece of cake, something that was easy. Totally great. Well, I'm happy that you find mathematics exams as a piece of cake, which is not everyone's cup of tea largely, but then great. You have your strong hold on mathematics.
So is
Okay.
it something like
Thank you,
cakewalk?
sir.
Cakewalk.
Yeah, it's like a cakewalk. Absolutely. Cakewalk. Something very easy to do. Right. Put all your eggs in one basket. Shampa, you'd like to try this one? Put all your eggs in one basket. Shampa, you're saying something? You'll have to unmute.
Yeah. Actually, I think this would be like risking everything
Yes.
into something, some only one idea or something, one thing, whole thing. You put
Yes.
everything in it.
Absolutely, you're right. To
I
risk
think
everything
then we
on one
might get
venture.
drowned also.
You're right. So today's the time wherein we cannot risk everything on just one plan or one venture. So don't put all your eggs in one basket by relying on one client or one opportunity or one venture or one domain. So that's why we talk about people being multitasking, and they're learning so many things, and they are mastering so many skills. So upskilling is something that's a keyword these days. So that's very important that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. If at all it
Putting
breaks.
all investments in one, in either in mutual fund or in one financial plan, is it?
Right. I think that there comes the financial advice. Great. Yeah, that's true. Of course, financial losses have to be, you have to mitigate them with the fact of not putting all the eggs in one basket. Great. Wonderful. Looking at the time paucity, what I would do is that I'll run through quickly with all the expressions once, and in the end, there's a little test for you. So what I do is that we'll just look at them, and we'll try to understand the meaning without deliberating a lot on them. So raining cats and dogs, which means raining heavily. We can see the example. We can't go outside. It's raining cats and dogs. Next one is read between the lines. So, which means to understand something that is not explicitly stated. You don't say it aloud, but you have to understand in between. So if you read between the lines, you'll see what she's really saying. Moving ahead with the next one, spill the beans, which is again, to reveal a secret, to let the cat out of the bag. He accidentally spilled the beans about the surprise party. Next, the ball is in your court. So when we say the ball is in your court, it's your turn to take the action. Next, the early bird catches the worm. So this totally means the person who arrives early or starts something first has an advantage. So the first mover advantage is what we say in English. If I'm too fast, please do let me know. The elephant in the room. So the elephant in the room means something that is a major problem or an issue that everyone is aware of, but no one is talking about. So an example could be, let's address the elephant in the room. We need more staff. Or let's address the elephant in the room. We need to learn a lot. Or whatever the requirement is, whatever the problem is, whatever the issue is, we have to deal with it. Through thick and thin are the time situations wherein someone's support is there in good times and bad times. So she stood by me through thick and thin. If anything is not clear to you, please do let me know. Throw in the towel. It means to give up, to surrender. After hours of trying, he threw in the towel. To kill two birds with one stone is to accomplish two opportunities, two goals with one single action. So I can drop off the documents while I'm out running errands, kill the two birds with one stone. So this person is, while moving out, can drop off the documents. So he or she does two jobs at one go. Under the weather is not to keep well, to feel unwell or sick. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today, so I'll skip the meeting. Wake up and smell the coffee means you have to be aware of the reality of situation. Wake up and smell the coffee. Things are not going to get better unless you act. So you have to make an action. So it's very necessary that you wake up and smell the coffee, which means you do something about a problem. Otherwise, it doesn't change. When pigs fly is something that would never happen, something that will never ever happen. I'll believe he's coming to the party when pigs fly, so he's never going to come to the party. All right, you can't judge a book by its cover. That's true. That you cannot judge someone just solely based on one's appearances. Your guess is as good as mine. It means that we both have no idea about something. So to have no idea about something, who's going to win the game? Your guess is as good as mine. So we don't have any idea about who's going to win. We'll move ahead with the next one. Bite off more than you can chew. So this means that to take on a task that is too big or too difficult to be managed. So he bit off more than he could chew by taking on so many projects at once. So he had to really pay attention before accepting those tasks. Was he able to do it or not? But he did not, or she did not think about it. So that was to bite off more than one can chew. Call it a day. I'm sure you understand this one. To stop working for the day. We have done enough of work for today. Let's call it a day. When you want to end it, and you could end it at any time. If you have worked very hard, let's say even at 2 in the afternoon, and you would want to call it a day, you can call it a day. But you should have the sentiment of having worked enough to call it a day. Cut the corners is doing certain things in a cheap or an easy way, which sacrifices the quality. So they cut corners when building the house, and now there are problems. Drive someone up the wall is to drive someone crazy, or to irritate someone, or to annoy someone. Fish out of water means to feel uncomfortable in an unfamiliar situation. I felt like a fish out of the water at the new office. Give the benefit of doubt is when you are not sure, but to trust someone even though you might not be sure about them. So you give the benefit of doubt to them. Few more. Hit the sack is the fact when you want to go to bed, you're really exhausted. So I'm going to hit the sack. In hot water is, of course, it's just like, coming out of the frying pan and going to the fire. So to be in a trouble or a difficult situation, keep your fingers crossed is to be hopeful about success or good luck. Let the chips fall where they may. So it means let the chips fall where they may is to allow things to happen as they will without worrying about the outcome. So you do your best, and whatever is happening, let it happen. Let the outcome be there in the end, and it will decide as to how things really happened. And in the end, to pull someone's leg is something that we could do in a very fun-filled way, which is to joke or trick someone. I was just pulling your leg when I said I won the lottery. All right, is that clear to everyone? Because we could quickly jump on to few practice.
Sir, could you go to the previous idiom?
Yes.
Sir, would you give that content to our group?
Yes, I would be sharing it on the group. Don't worry at all.
Okay, okay.
And of course, this recorded session is going to be shared in the group as well. So you would have this video series with you as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
you were talking about this one, Vijay?
No, the previous one, sir.
Previous one, this one, let the chips fall where they may.
The meaning of this.
Yeah, so it means to allow things to happen as they will,
Okay, sir,
without worrying about the outcome.
Okay, in this example, I will speak my mind. So speaking my mind is also a idiom in itself? Or
yes, you're right. Okay. I'll speak my mind and let the chips fall where they may. So I'm not concerned about the outcome. Let me pour my heart out, and let's see whatever shape it takes. Yeah, you're right. Is that okay? All right, I would request you to stay for a few more minutes. We have a little quick activity for you. I've put some, I've just put 10 idioms with their 3 meanings as an examples. Out of these 3, 1 is correct, 2 are incorrect. You have to guess which one is correct. So you don't have to tell it. What you have to do is that I'll quickly jump onto the right answer, and you have to give a thumbs up if at all you had the right answer. Right? We'll keep
Should
it.
I tell?
Yeah, Rubina, you're saying something?
A. losing the job was a blessing in disguise. He
All right.
started
So, we'll do it differently. I'll ask you. So you have to raise your hand. So I'll ask you. That we'll keep it interactive. We won't do it on just virtual basis. So that's correct. Losing his job was a blessing in disguise. He started a successful business. That's correct. Okay. Next one. Quickly take your time and tell me which one you think should be correct one. A dime a dozen. Yeah, Shampa.
High quality laptops are a dime in dozen nowadays.
Yeah, Smitaji, you would want to respond to this one? A
Yes,
dime a dozen?
I said high quality laptops are a dime in dozens nowadays.
Okay. Yeah, it can make sense. It can make sense. But when you talk about this one, that in isolation does make sense, what you rightly said, Smitaji. But among these three options, I think used paperback novels are a dime a dozen at garage sales.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right. So you're right in one sense, but then of course when we look at these three examples, then this one comes as the right option. Right. Okay. Beat around the bush. What can the right example be? Yeah, I see a new hand raised. Sujimol.
A. Stop beating around the bush and tell me the truth.
Absolutely. Stop beating around the bush and tell me the truth. That's correct. Okay, let's move to the next one. Break the ice. You've got three options. You have to raise your hand and you have to tell as to which one is the right option. Yes, Vijay?
The comedian broke the ice with a funny story.
Exactly. The comedian broke the ice with a funny story. That's true. All right, let's move to the next one. We have burn the midnight oil. Yeah, Jayaditya, you'd like to tell the answer?
It's A. But it should be third. He burnt rather than burned.
They burnt or they burned? Both are correct. The third forms in English.
He burnt the midnight oil. Yeah, first.
Yeah, he burned the midnight oil to finish his novel before the deadline. That's correct. Right. Absolutely. Right. We'll move to the next one. We have cry over spilled milk or cry over spilt milk. Both make sense. The third forms. Yes. So I can see we have Arti. Arti? Arti, could you
Yes,
tell the
this
answer?
is first option. There's no use crying over spilled milk. We can find another solution.
Absolutely correct. Yes, you're right. So there's no use crying over spilled milk. We can find another solution. In the same boat? Yes, Rubina, in the same boat?
We are all in the same boat facing the same challenges together.
Absolutely, to be in the same boat as in the same situation. That's correct. Let the cat out of the bag. Yes, Sushmita?
So that means she let the cat out of the bag and told everyone about the surprise party.
Exactly. She let the cat out of the bag and told everyone about the surprise party. That's correct. And the next one, miss the boat. I'm sure you know this one now very well. Miss the boat. Yeah, Shampa, over to you. You'll have to unmute yourself, Shampa. I think so. Shampa, can you hear me? No? All right, we'll move ahead with Vijay.
If you don't play now, don't apply now, you will miss the boat on this great opportunity.
Absolutely. If you don't apply now.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, we couldn't hear you for some reason. Maybe you were not.
Yeah, something is happening. I don't know what.
Right. Okay, no worries at all. Okay, so this one definitely it means if you don't apply now, you'll miss the boat on this great opportunity. That's correct. And the last one we have on the screen, once in a blue moon. Yeah, Shampa, would you like to try this one perhaps?
Okay, we visit so this is the first one. Uh, uh, we visit the amusement park once in a blue moon. Something like this.
Yes, you're right. That's correct. So we visit the amusement park once in a blue moon. That's right.
I put on something on the stove and it burnt.
Oh, I hope everything is fine. It's not too serious.
It's burnt means it's gone. It's totally burnt.
So can we say there's no use to cry over the spilled milk?
Yeah, sure. I'm not crying also. Like I
No,
sometimes
no,
feel like
of course,
it,
of course.
it should be like this
Yes.
sometimes. It should be like this.
It
Because
was
I'm
just
so passionate about the conversations over here. So I forgot about that.
totally. So it was just the, the practical usage of the idioms that we have learned to put into the context.
Yeah,
Great.
that's the reason why I said this thing in the, this is something I out of the context. Still, I
Right.
said this so that we can use this idioms over here and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
laugh at us. Sometimes it is important
Totally.
to,
Totally.
yeah, I did
Yes.
something mistake, so I always do this. Laugh at my own self.
Absolutely. Great. So we
Another
on
one on
cards.
the cards and
Yeah, there's a question. Could you just unmute yourself, Vijay, and could ask the question so that everyone can understand and respond to the
Yeah.
question?
Sometimes we say something is on the cards, which is in pipeline, and sometimes we also hear that something is on the anvil. I don't know. I have heard it few times. So whether it is all the one and same or different, just
Okay.
something.
Yeah. So generally, of course, you're right. When we say something is in the process, we say it's in the pipeline.
Okay.
On the cards, and then of course the next one that we'll have to check, and definitely we can get back to you on that.
I have also not heard about it. On the anvil, he said no on the anvil.
Yeah, on the anvil.
I've not heard about it. We'll have to really check it.
Right. Great. So with this, we have come to the end of our today's session. I really thank you a lot from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this session. Jadit, you'd like to say something?
Yeah, I would like just to add for the expression a dime a dozen. In Hindi,
Yeah.
we say kaudiyon ke bhav, I
Kaudiyon
guess.
ke bhav.
Yes, but
Exactly.
most of the people use this expression to insult others कि तुम्हारी औकात तो दो कौड़ी की भी नहीं है. But most of the people don't understand the reality that the word kaudi was a mode of change, as like just now we
Absolutely.
have paisa
Yes.
or rupiah. It was
Yeah.
a mode of exchange in olden
Totally.
times, like a certain amount of kaudis make ana or paisa or
Yes, you're
something.
right.
I don't
You're right.
exactly remember.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
then they then they try to measure your worth by 2 kaudis or something.
Absolutely. And
And
the
so
kaudi
kaudis are actually seashells, जो
seashells.
शंख
Yes.
होते हैं. These are
Yes, you're
called
right.
kaudis.
Is absolutely. So that was to check the value of something. So that's how they were like unbroken seashells were like Cody, and Futi Cody was the one that was broken. So they had the value which was
Yes,
inferior to
yes.
those which were not broken. So they would compare them accordingly. Great. So definitely there's a reason behind things that we say, but if there's more of logic and more of understanding, as you have rightly, all the participants, all your English learners, English teachers, you have put in your thoughts as well, that has brought a bigger horizon and bigger clarity to understanding to these English idioms. I thank you all once again and wishing you a great day ahead. Hope you all flourish and make everyone flourish around you in English. With that, I convey to you my best wishes and see you soon. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, sir, for enriching our English.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your kind
Thank
presence.
you.
And
Thank you.